Hey there! The hills are alive with the sound of Visconti! Alright, today we're going to have a look at an interesting Visconti that I was just singing, or at least trying to, because it's called The Hall of Music. Alright, The Hall of Music. And this pen was very kindly lent to me by Joost Appelboom from Appelboom Pennen. Now, before I forget, there is a 10% discount code on the website for Appelboom Pennen. Alright, so if you are completely fascinated by this pen after the review, you can always go there and pick it up, right? Especially if you're in the US, it's interesting because you don't pay value-added tax and then you get a 10% discount, so it could be interesting. That's all I'm saying. I don't get a percentage or anything, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's look at the pen. Visconti. It comes in this box. For some reason, I've always enjoyed the cardboard sleeve that Visconti does. They're not boring white sleeves. They're just cute. I like the logo, and I like the sort of off-white diagonal logo thing they do. I'm just really strange, I'm afraid. Okay, out of that box comes this is what I refer to, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful manner, but the less expensive Visconti box. They do those really nice Burlwood boxes for the very expensive pens. They also have a slightly nicer box with a little sleeve in the bottom for, I guess, mid-range pens or limited editions. And then they have this for the pens that are not super expensive. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's by no means cheap. The box opens. It smells absolutely disgusting. But, you know, that's fine. This is a little sleeve the pen came in. There is a little booklet. And I do enjoy the booklet because it's very pretty. They show off some of their really expensive pen. I love this pen, the Carl Jung Alchemy, but I think it's 3,000 euros or something. There's no way I'm going to buy that. But it's just fun. It's an eye candy booklet, which I think is cool. I like it. And of course there is the pen. This is the pen. Hall of Music, couple of pens they brought out, different finishes, colors, etc. And they all represent a specific type of music. That's the joke. And this is the Jazz. Alright, the Jazz. It's a burgundy model, and I think it has some interesting things going for it. Now let me cover the parts of the pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Finial. I'm just doing a quick check because this does not look like it does the My Pen thing. I was just quickly checking that. So that's on top here. You have the Visconti logo, and on some of these pens you can pick that off with a small magnet. You can put on a little gemstone or a star sign or things like that. But I don't think you can do that with this pen, and that's fine. And you have the clip, of course, modeled after the Ponte Vecchio in Florence, where these pens are made. Apparently you can, my lovely assistant just nodded at me and said, no, you can use the My Pen system, it's just on here very tightly, I suppose. Sorry. Usually there is enamel in the little arch there in the Visconti, and this one does not have that, alright? Center band with musical notes on it, and a key. And then you have the rest of the barrel. It's faceted and it's burgundy. I don't know how well, I mean, it's getting a bit darker here. I don't know how well the color is picked up, but believe me, it's the Jazz. You can always look it up online, see what the color is like. And at the end of the barrel you have this little reflective thing. Now, it's not a new pen model. This is the same model you see on the Michelangelo, on the Van Gogh. Let me educate you in Dutch pronunciation, the horrors of that. Van Gogh, you would probably say. Because as you know, the thieves managed to get the Monets, but they couldn't make the Van Gogh. So Michelangelo, Van Gogh, the Salvador Dali, it's all the same pen model, but different finishes, and often different center bands. The Salvador Dali had a different band. I'm not talking about that super big, really weird limited edition. I'm talking about the regular edition Dali. So it's nothing I haven't seen before, but there is some stuff in here that I have to say I do like. The color is very nice. It's a warm burgundy, and it has something in it like stars, so little speckles, things going on there, which I kind of enjoy. The cap pops off. It's magnetic, and it's just cute. It's gimmicky. It doesn't really add anything to the functionality of the pen, but it's cute. Boom, it snaps shut. I think it's nice. However, there have been issues with rust that collects mainly around that ring in the section, and I have also heard of the magnet coming out, and I think that actually happened to my Rembrandt, but maybe that is fixed now. I don't know. One thing I forgot about the clip is that the clip is spring loaded, and according to Visconti you can't break it. Now I'm willing to take €1,000 bet that if I do my best I can break it, but you know, idea is nice, isn't it? Nib, standard steel nib, €120 upgrade, so that's €120 upgrade, and you get a palladium nib like this. This is the broad. It's a cute little nib. This I like these palladium nibs. When they write, they are fantastic. Recently, I've had some issues with them, a little bit finicky, but this one wrote quite well out of the box. And I think it's just a gorgeous design, the sort of fleur-de-lis type thing Visconti does. I think it's very cool. Note the musical notes on that little band there on the section, and of course another musical key. Section is metal. Not everybody likes that. Some people hate it. It does get slippery. It's that simple. So that's something that you either like or you don't. Not a huge pen. Some Viscontis are really big. This is not one of them. Barrel on screws and simple cartridge converter. Nothing fancy. You can see, I don't know if I can really make it focus, but I'm going to do my best. You can see that it's a reasonable thickness of the material, which I like, so it doesn't look very fragile. And there is metal down there, yeah, so don't think about really converting this to an eyedropper filled pen. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, there's some things I like. As I said, I've seen this model before. I've owned a couple of you know, Michelangelo, Van Gogh, etc. So I think it's a pleasant model. This is one of those Viscontis that I think is very practical. It's practical because it's not some Viscontis, let's face it guys, they're pretty gaudy. I think this is very controlled. It's a nice pen. It has a nice shape because of that curved clip. It has a nice center band. I think it's nice. The facets, yeah, it's a little hard to show that off, but maybe the light catches them a little bit so that you can see. I think it works. I like this model. Not too big, just pleasant, simple writer. I like that you can upgrade the nib to a palladium nib. The steel nibs are okay. Nothing really wrong with them. I think the palladium, again, if it writes well, it's a very nice nib. So it does pay off to go to a brick and mortar store and try one out. And I know that not everyone has that opportunity, but if you do, I really recommend that. I like that. I like the color. I think it's a nice pen. I mean, the magnet, it doesn't really work with posting. That's a pity and a bit of a missed opportunity. It does work here with capping it. Yeah, it's fun, it's gimmicky, but it's really not that special when you think about it. To be honest, my issue with this is the price. It's not, I mean, it's not that spectacular a pen, and you're talking €220, and then 120 for the palladium nib upgrade, and that's really quite a lot. €220 for cartridge converter filled pen. Nothing really fancy going on, I think, in the pen design. Also because this is a body that Visconti has used a lot. It's not a revolutionary thing that you pay for the design and all that. It's been done before, so it's just the material. That would, for me, would be the biggest obstacle, that it is expensive. Now, of course, as I said, there is a 10% discount code on my website for Appelboom pennen. If you're interested, that makes it maybe a little bit more bearable. Sorry. So that's it. Apart from that, I mean, it is cute. I mean, I would like to see that. I'm pretty sure that that musical note and all that stuff is laser engraved. It might be a bit nicer if it would actually be etched in there so that it's really, but you know, okay, those are details. Cute pen. Cute pen. Not the most expensive Visconti in the world. Definitely not the cheapest. It's not for everyone. I'm pretty sure of that. And I think some things could be cooler. Like, why is there no enamel? We've come to expect that of Visconti. So, an alright, interesting pen. Maybe interesting if you want to buy a Visconti, but not a super expensive one. just to see what they're like. You probably could do worse than buy a model like this. And that's all there's to it. So, Joost, thanks a lot for lending me this pen. I appreciate it. Guys, we need to do writing sample. Measurements of the pen will be on the website sbrebrown.com, as well as high resolution pictures of the pen. I hope this was useful so far, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Visconti Hall of Music Jazz. This is the broad nib, and the ink is Omas Blue, and you can definitely see skipping there. Okay. One thing that I have noticed before on these broad palladium nibs they do on these models is that they are a little bit stubby almost. The Quickbound Fox is a lazy dog. This is going awry, but that's okay. Bit of fast writing, skip there, skip, 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 skip. So there is quite a lot of skips here, which clearly shouldn't be there, even though there's enough ink in there. And it's a wet enough writer. I have often noticed that these palladium nibs are very finicky. Line variation, where you can see what's going on here. If it writes, it's nice, and it's definitely a bit springy, but it has severe issues keeping up, even when I really slow down my writing. You can definitely squeeze out some line variation, that's not the issue, but it's more a matter of extreme dryness and just skipping behavior. Alright. A kind thanks to Appelboom Pennen for lending me this pen. I appreciate it. Hope this was useful. And I'll gladly see you later. Oh! Reverse writing. No.